Peace, 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 family. Peace, peace, peace. Peace to everybody in the building. Peace, salute to everybody in the building. We are about to get it in. Salute to everybody in the building. I got some breaking news for you guys. I got some breaking news for you guys on the Brother Polight rape allegations case. I got some breaking news for you guys on the Brother Polight rape allegation case. This thing is much deeper than what a lot of people think. This thing is much deeper than what a lot of people think, boy. Much deeper. There's a lot more to this story than what I see a lot of bloggers talking about. Only one blogger I know out here reporting absolute facts on this case, and that's Tasha K. Only one blogger I know out here that's reporting accurate information as regards the, you know, the details of the allegations, and that would be Tasha K. There's a lot of people out here that don't got no information, is trying to ride the Brother Polight, the canceled Brother Polight wave. A lot of people out here is trying to ride the canceled Brother Polight wave. And again, I think a lot of people got this whole situation effed up because this is bigger than canceling Brother Polight. This is about banning predatory people from the community that we allow into the community because we see them as charismatic individuals. We see them as great intellectuals. They flash money in front of the faces of the people. They tell the people that, you can get rich without dying trying. They tell people you could get rich without dying trying. They tell people that you could get it the fast way. Most of us know who actually get it. Ain't no such thing as getting it the fast way. Ain't no such thing as getting it the fast way. Most of us who out here get it, ain't no, listen, anybody come to you with a magic potion talking about we gonna get it the fast way, that person is scamming you. Be careful. That person is scamming you. It's scamming you. And karma is a whole bitch, and the universe is real. All right? Karma is a whole bitch, and the universe is real. But I got some breaking news for y'all today. I got some breaking news for y'all today. Um, I'm gonna go into playing a video in a couple of moments. But again, I want to say that I've seen a lot of people out here who are speaking out against this particular case. And for the most part, everybody out here is capping. For the most part, everybody out here is capping because these people were not interested in going against Polight, most of them. In fact, if y'all go on several of the YouTube platforms who are now banging on Polight, you would see just a couple of weeks ago they had Brother Polight on their show. You would see just a couple of weeks ago they were praising Brother Polight. So that also goes to show you, for those of y'all who think you got real friends in this world, your friends are the people that's going to be with you, through thick and thin. Your friends are the people that's going to hold you down no matter what. Because a lot of these people out here that's riding the cancel Brother Polight wave, most of them was with it. Most of them was with it. I'm watching so many people jump out the window and cornying themselves. I see a meme on social media that says, once you corny forever. You can't uncorny yourself. Straight up. Once you corny forever. You cannot uncorny yourself. All right? I'm going to say to the family right now, to everybody watching, moderators, please let it be known. Everybody thumb up the video and share the live. Everybody thumb up the video. Hulk smash that video, family. Hulk smash this video and share the live because boy, oh boy, I got some revelations for y'all today. Boy, oh boy, I got some revelations for y'all today. Where do we start? Where do we start? All right, let's start here. Let's start here. I'm going to start here. I want y'all to pay close attention to this video. I want y'all to pay very close attention to this video. And let me first open up by saying what I'm about to reveal is exclusive. What I'm about to reveal is exclusive. You guys are literally getting the exclusive. Also, I want to say that I've been speaking to the mother of the victim for a couple of days now, and I have her full blessings to give various statements with regard to the information that most people are discussing without inside insight. Again, I've been speaking with the mother of the victim, and I do have her full blessings to share information with you guys as it pertains to, you know, what's going on. Also, I found out some things on my own. I also found out some things on my own. So let me first say this to y'all. Everybody is saying that the case can't be that serious because Brother Polight was let out. You know, there's a lot of people right now saying that, you know, the case against Brother Polight, while it appears to be stacked high against him, against his favor, there really can't be no strong merit to it because Brother Polight is out on bond. And let me just let y'all know something. Since I've gone forth with this information, there's been a lot of people behind the scenes that have been reaching out to me, especially in the Miami-Dade area. There's a lot of people that have been reaching out to me, especially in the Miami-Dade area. And if you're intelligent, you probably know what I'm alluding to. I have inside information that says Brother Polight was not released on bond simply because he made a payment and they let him go. Brother Polight, like a lot of people in the system, he was released on a clerical error. I'm gonna say it again. Brother Polight was released on a clerical error, allegedly. Brother Polight allegedly was released on a clerical error. So that's what a lot of people need to know first and foremost about Polight being free, walking the streets. It was a clerical error. The case allegedly wasn't filed properly. And if anybody is familiar with the system, you know that sometimes these kinks occur. Sometimes these things happen. It's very unfortunate, but these things do happen. So according to some very, very credible inside sources in the Miami-Dade area, Brother Polight was released on a clerical error. It was filed wrong. And these things tend to happen. Anybody ever been through the system, you know you could either be remanded at times due to a clerical error, they can hold you, or you know sometimes people are released due to clerical errors. So let me first set the record straight to let you guys know that Brother Polight allegedly was released because of a clerical error, a technicality. And they're working on that right now. They're working on that right now as we speak, just so you guys know, filling y'all in. Most of these bloggers out here don't know what the hell they talking about. Most of these bloggers out here don't know what the hell they talking about. Most of them are riding the cancel Polight wave. There's only one blogger out here that I personally have been, having my ears to, personally been dialoguing with even, and that's Tasha K. Shout out to Tasha K. And Tasha K definitely is the only one out here that I see, because I have the mother side of the story in full. I have the mother side of the story in full. So what Tasha K has been reporting is accurate as F, as we say today, right? AF. What Tasha K been reporting is accurate AF, straight up. Get the likes up. Moderators, let it be known. Moderators, let it be known. Get the likes up. So shout out to Tasha K. Continue doing what you're doing. Love the expo that you're bringing out, sister. You are courageous. I see a lot of people coming for you now because you have been, you know, going out on a limb to make this case known to the general public. But shout out to you. And I'll definitely tell the family, man, protect Tasha K, because there's even people coming at her right now. So protect Tasha K, y'all, because there's people literally coming at her right now simply for speaking the truth. All right, simply for speaking the truth. So again, I've been speaking with the mother of the victim. So there's a lot of details as regards this particular case that I obviously will never speak on publicly until or unless the case is settled. There's a couple of things that I absolutely cannot speak on until or unless the case is settled. The only things that I can speak on are the things that were made public knowledge. But I do want to tell you, in this video, we are going to bring out some very, very exclusive information as it pertains to the case. And here we go. Watch this. All right. The video I'm about to let loose on y'all. The video I am about to let loose on y'all. Oh my God. All right. Again, the video that I'm about to let loose on y'all. God damn. God damn. It's serious. It's serious. And I want you guys to know that a lot of people put a lot of trust in these public figures, you know, looking up to them and regarding them with the utmost respect. And I just got to ask you guys, right? I just got to ask you guys real quick before I play this video. When y'all speak of these public figures, so to speak, you know, highly, I want y'all to keep in mind that you should always compare them against the public figures of old that really stood up for us. So if you see a public figure today that says that he is a servant to the Black community and he is servicing the Black community and he is here for the Black community, or she is here for the Black community, then in your mind, especially if you're familiar with the history of those who have stood in the struggle and have stood in the right way for us, I would be comparing Black men to Malcolm X. I would be comparing Black men to Marcus Garvey, all right? I would be comparing Black women to Angela Davis, all right? These are the things that you need to do. I would be comparing Black women to Assata Shakur. These are the things you have to always think about in your mind. So if you see a public figure in the Black community today involved in a specific action, you got to say to yourself, damn, would Malcolm X had done that shit? Would Marcus Garvey had done that? With that being said, watch this.
Hey, if you don't meet the parents, it's considered rape. Hey, if you don't meet the parents, it's considered rape. Because now there's two scenarios. I have the same question. And I still want to know, for the first scenario, why are we using this other scenario as if it's corroborating testimony?
So I'm not sure already if y'all already sensing that something is way off. I'm not sure if y'all not already sensing that something is way off so far. We didn't even get to nothing yet, but I'm not sure if y'all not sensing that something is way, way off. Because you got to ask yourself, homie, I know that this is 2021, but standards don't have a time frame, as it were. I know this is 2021, but moral standards don't have an expiration date. You got to ask yourself, with what you about to see, would Malcolm X have been doing this? Would Marcus Garvey, the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey, would he have been doing this? Remember, morals and ethics do not have an expiration date. And one of the things you have to always ask yourself about these so-called conscious leaders, when you see them in the general public, you have to ask yourself, would some of the greatest leaders that really walked for our people, with our people, stood with our people, defend our people, put their life on the line for our people, for most of them gave their lives for our people. You got to ask yourself, would they have done what you are about to see and witness right here?
Showcase. It's good like that. Oh, Lord.
Is this the same black woman that Brother Polight says is God? I just want to check real quick. I just want to make sure. Is this the same black woman that Brother Polight says is God? Somebody talk to me, because I just want to make sure that I got this straight. Is this the same black woman that Brother Polight says is God? Why are we exploiting God? Why is God laying out as a whore on a bed of shame as men are throwing dollars at her? Pure whoredom. If the black woman is God, what's going on here? If the black woman is God, what's going on here? I just got to ask yourself a question, because some of y'all said that this is y'all leaders. These is y'all kings, right? This is your leader? Huh? Where's my Killmonger voice at? This is your leader? Huh? I'm watching a man that says the black woman is God. I'm watching him exploit his God. I'm watching him degrade his God. I'm watching him subjugate his God to the level of pure whoredom. But I need to remind you guys something. This been going on for the longest. And people like me been speaking out against this guy for the longest. While most of the bloggers you see out here is just riding the Polight, cancel Polight wave for a couple of views, some of us been speaking about against this brother for years. For years. But y'all say the black woman is God, right? Well, let me show you how the people who say the black woman is God, let me show you what they subject their God to.
Showcase. This shit is good like that. Oh, Lord. That is cigar. We ready to eat some help. Send some enforcement. Oh,
So this what y'all telling me is this what we doing? This is what y'all telling me. This is what we doing. This is the conscious community. That's what y'all telling me. This is the conscious community. That's what y'all telling me. No, this is the no accountability community. That's what you need to start calling it. This is the no accountability community. This is not consciousness. This is not consciousness. Consciousness today is an exploitation of what our ancestors worked very hard for. Consciousness today is an exploitation of what our ancestors worked very, very hard for. And look how it's playing out literally before your eyes. Look how it's playing out. The black woman is God, they say, but this is what we subject God to. The black woman is God, they say in the Hotep community, but this is what they subject God to. That's what we're doing, right? Showcase. This shit is good like that. I'm about to bring out some exclusive information, so make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit that share button, because I'm really about to hit y'all with some serious exclusives. Let me remind you of one very important fact. Let me remind you of one very important fact. I need y'all to notice that Brother Polight, quite literally, if you're looking and paying attention, quite literally, doesn't care at all about the black woman that he says is God. He actually does not care at all. And if you guys are paying attention, this is happening in Hollywood. You know, Hollyweird. Hollywood is a very, very different place. When I went to LA 11 months ago and, went throughout the full length and breadth of Hollywood per se, Beverly Hills, there's some real sick and twisted energy in that area, I gotta tell y'all. And most people who live in that general area, LA, they know this ain't no bullshit. There's some real sick and twisted energy. Many of y'all should know, if you've been following Brother Polight for a long time now, you should know that the Brother Polight you see today is different than the Brother Polight that you saw yesterday. You should know that Hollywood has changed Brother Polight. You should know that Hollywood has changed Brother Polight. And change in and of itself is not necessarily a bad thing, but the change that Hollywood gives you is a bad thing. Because it's no secret that in Hollywood, you gotta do a lot of very weird and ritualistic things to achieve power and success in Hollywood. Most of you should know that. There's a lot of ritualistic things that people who envisage to achieve success and fame and power, there's a lot of very ritualistic things that they have to do in the public eye as well as behind the veil, behind closed doors. To the extent that what you guys are watching is much deeper than a black man who has lost his way. You're literally looking at one more quote unquote lost nigga who gave up his morals, his values, his consciousness for fame, money, and power, all in the name of Hollywood rituals. Showcase. This shit is good like that. Oh, get that music on. Guys, let me tell you something. Y'all can't be so stupid as to think that Brother Polight doesn't know that this is wrong. Like, yeah, I know nobody in here is that stupid. I don't charge anybody with being that dumb. This is a man that tells you he's fluent in several languages. This is a man that tells you that he has written 90 plus books. This is a guy that can go to ancient Kemet and read that which is recorded on the walls in the hieroglyphs, or what they call the language of the Medu Neter. This is a guy who says he knows the biblical language. He says he knows Hebrew. This is a guy that speaks with great knowledge on medicine, herbology, finance. This is a guy that says he understands philosophy, mathematics, science. Most of you know that he is gifted with what sometimes is called the gift of gab. But behind the gift of gab, there is some intellect there as well. You'd have to be a fool to not acknowledge that. It's not all gift of gab. Behind the gift of gab, the brother actually has a brain. No need to hate on that. So that means then he's smart enough to know that this is wrong. Brother Polight has a 14-year-old daughter. We all know if Brother Polight was to see his daughter in the positions that he is placing his gods under, because remember, the black woman is God, right? We all know that Brother Polight would not like that. Everyone in here knows that. So then you have to ask yourself a question. How could a man who went from deep consciousness, going into the roots of black oppression and black liberation, what it takes to achieve black liberation and the root causes for black oppression, a man who can connect the dots of spiritual systems, global, world over, you mean to tell me he doesn't know that this is wrong? Of course he knows that this is wrong. So you got to think deeper and ask yourself the bigger question. What made him change his mind? What made him give up his values? What is the one thing in this world that causes men to lose their morals, their values, and their ethics? And those things are money, power, fame, a false sense of glory, and a false sense of respect. Welcome to Hollywood, where your morals and standards can be bought. Welcome to Hollywood, where your morals and standards can be bought. Yeah, you conscious? Come over here. We got something for you in Hollywood. You conscious? That man is very influential. We need him in Hollywood. Nobody ever asked themselves why 3 years ago Brother Polight moved to Hollywood? More importantly, nobody asked themselves how Brother Polight made a complete 180 in Hollywood? Nobody ever asked themselves, what is Hollywood known for doing to a lot of people? Not just black people, but people in the whole? Turning them completely the fuck out, as you are watching right now. Your morals and your ethics can be bought in a place called Hollywood. And Brother Polight makes it very clear that he has gone Hollywood.
Showcase. This shit is good like that. Oh, Lord. Get that music on. We all that. We ready. So, no. Send something for us.
Is this the same guy that y'all saw in the pyramids in ancient Kemet? The Merkut? The Merkut, the Egyptian word for pyramid. Is this the same guy that you saw in the Merkut praying with his first wife, Amunet? How many of you remember Kemet on trial? Is this the same guy that took a trip to Egypt, to ancient Kemet, and was praying in the tombs of his ancestors? And it was a glory time for the Hotep community? Isn't this that same guy? Y'all better beware of the things that Hollywood does to people. Fame, power, fortune, and success. For some people, in certain circumstances, they don't come for free. They come with a huge cost. How did Brother Polight go from a broke East New York dude? That's what he says, not me. I ain't no hater. How did he go from a broke East New York dude to a well-off, as he says, because I don't know how accurate it is, a well-off entrepreneur, self-made? Remember, he did a video 2 days ago saying, y'all can't cancel me. I don't work for the machine. The machine works for me. I cannot be canceled. He said that these allegations can't cancel me. Y'all crazy with this cancel culture. That's what he told you. Let me ask you a question. With the allegations alleged against Brother Polight, the average person, even if they're innocent, would be very humble in this moment. Anybody who watched Brother Polight's last videos, you've seen Brother Polight with extreme arrogance. He is absolutely and positively sure that this shit will blow away. I want to know what elite group is behind you, telling you, we got this. Y'all ever seen the movie Goodfellas? Y'all ever seen the movie Goodfellas, where Sonny got pinched? Y'all ever seen the movie Goodfellas, when Ray Liotta first got locked up? And when he first got locked up, all of the mob members came to the court because they wanted to make sure that he wasn't snitching. He came out, he didn't snitch, and he won the case because they had good lawyers. And they looked and they said to him, they clapped, and they said, you broke your cherry. Now you're one of us. I bet you most of y'all don't realize that the arrogance, the pride, and the ego of Brother Polight is not because of his innocence. It's because he broke his cherry in Hollywood, and he is now one of them.
Showcase. This shit is good like that. Oh, get that music on. Relax. We ain't ready to eat some help. Send something for us. Let's see what's going on. Hey, trying to get 3,000 on one row. Like, come on now. I don't want to go. I ain't had. Throw some money.
Well, he normally garners attention for his online posts, but now the social media influencer, motivational speaker, is making headlines for the wrong reason. NBC6 reporter Kim Wynn is live in Miami Beach tonight with more on the arrest of the man known as Brother Polight. Kim.
Yeah, well, Jawan, the suspect surrendered here at the Miami Beach Police Department earlier this week. Police charged him with sexual battery of a 14-year-old girl. We did speak with his lawyer earlier tonight, who says that these charges are false. This is the mugshot of 37-year-old Michael Nowak Jr., also known as Brother Polight, to his more than 300,000 Instagram followers. Miami Beach police arrested Nowak this week for alleged sexual battery of a 14-year-old girl in a hotel room in February. Police say the alleged victim was the daughter of a woman he was romantically linked to. Defense attorney David Terrace says his client is innocent.
Once the evidence is produced, that he is going to be exonerated. So yeah, not guilty, nothing else.
Some of y'all should know I didn't get a chance to comment on this yet, but some of y'all should know that Brother Polight has a good relationship with attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz. Why isn't Malik Zulu Shabazz representing Polight in this case? Or y'all don't pay attention? Why wouldn't Malik Zulu Shabazz represent Brother Polight in this case? I could think of several reasons why Malik wouldn't want to stand next to Polight in this case. But my question is, why wouldn't Polight go and seek his counsel? In fact, I'm going to throw you guys an alley hoop real quick because I need y'all to look up the attorney, look up his name, and look up his firm. And y'all ready for the bomb? Wait till you see some of the Hollywood elitists that they have represented on similar cases and charges. Oh, y'all wasn't ready for that shit, was you? Y'all wasn't ready for that shit, was you? So nobody asked the question, who the fuck is this guy? Nobody thought to ask that? So y'all don't do y'all homework out here. Because again, most of y'all out here capping for the cancel polite culture. Because most of y'all are just haters and don't care about what he did. And you're looking for any opportunity to bring him down so you can stand up. Some of us don't got those insecurities because we've been busting Polight ass out here for years. So some of us really did research. Y'all need to research some of the Hollywood elites that this firm and this particular lawyer has represented on similar case. I told you, this shit is much deeper than what y'all out here capping about.
Well, he normally garners attention for his online posts, but now the social media influencer and motivational speaker is making headlines for the wrong reason. NBC6 reporter Kim Nguyen is live in Miami Beach tonight with more on the arrest of the man known as Brother Polight. Kim.
Yeah, well, Jawan, the suspect surrendered here at the Miami Beach Police Department earlier this week. Police charged him with sexual battery of a 14-year-old girl. We did speak with his lawyer earlier tonight, who says that these charges are false.
This is the mugshot of 37-year-old Michael Nowak Jr., also known as Brother Polight, to his more than 300,000 Instagram followers. Miami Beach police arrested Nowak this week for alleged sexual battery of a 14-year-old girl in a hotel room in February. Police say the alleged victim was the daughter of a woman he was romantically linked to. Defense attorney David Terrace says his client is innocent.
Once the evidence is produced, that he is going to be exonerated. So yeah, not guilty, nothing else.
Wow. So again, who the hell is this guy? Y'all better start doing y'all research. I'm only going to throw you an alley hoop. It's up to you to dunk. I'm only going to throw you an alley hoop. It's up to you to hit the shot. But I threw the alley hoop correctly. Now you going to catch it and dunk? What you going to do with the information? That's a heavy alley hoop I threw out. Watch all the bloggers now jump on it and then act like they busted. And let's just be clear. Some of us really don't care about that aspect of journalism. Some of us are really invested in seeing that journalism put out the right way can stop predatory behavior. We're not capping for views. We're not capping for subscribers. What we want is change behavior. What we want is accountability. Again, bloggers, y'all got an alley hoop. You need to research this firm, this particular lawyer, and ask what Hollywood elites have they represented in similar cases. Then this whole shit will begin to unfold for what's really going on here. Some of y'all are looking at Polight's testimony video, the Rolls Royce diaries, and saying, he sounds so confident. I'm not sure. I don't think he did it. No, you big ass dummy. Polight is part of a much bigger machine. Polight left the consciousness he was teaching in New York City. That shit left when he arrived in Hollywood. Polight is breaking his cherry live before the public eye among the Hollywood elitists. He is officially a part of them, and he will be protected by them. And that's why he's so fucking arrogant.
According to the police report, Nowak, a motivational speaker and author who lives in LA, asked the woman if he could take her daughter to an after party at a club in Miami. The report states Nowak took the teen to his hotel after seeing that the club was closed. Police say the suspect gave the teen alcohol and started dancing and touching the teen inappropriately, groping her breast, inner thighs, and buttocks. It goes on to say Nowak tried to force the teen to perform oral sex on him. The teen allegedly passed out and woke up to Nowak trying to make her throw up.
These are serious allegations, but in any situation, there is always motive. There is always a lot behind the scenes that the public is not going to be able to see.
The report states that the girl's mother found her intoxicated and possibly on drugs, with severe swelling on her mouth and lips. It later states Nowak told the mother not to call police because it would ruin his career. Nowak was served with a DNA warrant in June and surrendered to police on Monday. Terrace says the police report is only an allegation.
And Nowak claims to have written more than 90 books. In an interview, he also claims to have several wives. For now, we're reporting live in Miami Beach. Kim Nguyen, NBC6 News.
Full argument in this whole situation is, should people be locked up based on what people believe? I got the right to be angry. You know why? Because the Lord promises me something different. The Lord promises me that we will lock people up beyond a shadow of a doubt. That's what the Lord promises me. Yeah. But in this case, it was up to 12 people to have that reasonable doubt or not. And those 12 people make the decision. It's not. So what's the point?
If you want to fight for it, fight for it for another reason. Don't fight for it because he's in it. 12 people make the decision.
It's not. So what's the point?
So the other part of what I wanted to say is just as proof that Brother Polight is a habitual liar, right? For most of y'all remember when Polight was doing the Rolls-Royce Diaries, the Rolls-Royce Diaries the last couple of days, remember he said that most of the information that's coming out is false and negative, but he said the one good thing that came out that was accurate is my hairline. He said, now y'all see I actually got a hairline. I just like to wear hats. This is a video of Brother Polight's actual hairline. Somebody tell me this man ain't a pathological liar. I mean, you're a pathological liar and you obviously have some personal issues with yourself. Because of all the things to think about right now as surrounds the allegations around you, you actually worried about how people perceive your hairline. That's what the fuck you thinking about. On top of that, bruh, you saying that there's Photoshop pictures of your hairline and people out here pushing your hairline back? Nigga, this a whole video. We know what your hairline look like. But more importantly, Brother Polight, that's what you thinking about now? The way that the public is scrutinizing your hairline? Let me tell y'all something. There's a difference between being innocent and being bold versus being arrogant and knowing that you're backed by the Hollywood elitists. Yeah, if you're innocent and you're bold, you're going to come out and at least say, I can't go into the details of the case, but I will tell you I'm innocent, and I will tell you that the charges alleged are false. Everybody knows it's within your full legal right to say that. Instead, Brother Polight comes out in the Rolls-Royce Diaries to say everything being reported upon is negative, but I'm glad y'all now get to see that my hairline is straight. If y'all haven't figured out by now, that kind of arrogance is only because somebody is backed by the elitists.
Something different. The Lord promises me that we will lock people up beyond a shadow of a doubt. That's what the Lord promises me. Yeah. But in this case, it was up to 12 people to have that reasonable doubt or not. And those 12 people make the decision. It's not. So what's the point?
If you want to fight for it for another reason. Don't fight for it because he's innocent of a molested kid.
let's say he molested 1,000 genetic evidence and everything, things that we don't deny scientifically. We say, wow, okay, true. If someone was to ask me, would you still worship him as your most high, acknowledge him as your most high God? I would have to.
All right, y'all heard it for yourself. He said I would have to. So let me now go into giving you the exclusive. Let me now go into giving you guys the exclusive. I want you guys to see the exclusive. There's a lot of people out here blogging and don't have details of the story. There's a lot of people out here capping. There's a lot of people out here blogging. There's a lot of people out here capping that do not have the full details of the story. There's a lot of people out here doing that right now. And one of the things that I'm definitely going to do that's going to change the narrative on what y'all are hearing, what y'all are seeing, is I'm going to expose a lot of the things that a lot of you guys don't know about. I'm going to expose a lot of the things that a lot of you guys don't know about. Let me pull up this video really quick and let me go into it. Some of us cannot. Some of us cannot be fooled. Some of us are actually intelligent. Watch this. Let me separate right now those who got information from those who don't got information. That's why I say right now, make sure that you subscribe to this channel. Also, family, for those everybody coming in, make sure you hit the subscribe button, because I definitely got exclusive information on this case, but obviously I have to be very, very careful with the manner in which that I bring it out, because this is a legal case that is about to be adjudicated in the court of law. So there's obviously things that I can't really go out on a limb and speak out on. So I kind of got my hands behind my back on certain things, but I do want to let you know that I definitely can report on things that nobody's talking about right now. I can definitely report on things that nobody's talking about right now. And I'm actually holding a lot of things right now for a lot of reasons. I'm holding a lot of things right now for a lot of reasons. The first reason is I've been speaking to the mother of the victim, and I got to tell you, she is very, very disturbed. She is very, very hurt in the way in which 99% of these bloggers out here are treating her information. You got people dressing up in blackface and putting wigs on. What the fuck are y'all doing? Like, and the people that subscribe to their channel, what the fuck are y'all doing? Somebody showed me a video of a blogger who had blackface on and a wig. This is a conscious community guy, by the way. He got blackface on and a wig, ridiculing Brother Polight and making fun of the whole matter. And y'all subscribed watching. The video got like 2,000 views. I'm like, people watch this shit? Which shows you that most people are really interested in the edutainment or the entertainment. They don't care about the facts. Most people are invested in the entertainment. So what I got to tell you is, I've been speaking with the mother of the victim behind the scenes for a couple of days now. Some very lengthy conversations. And I got to tell you that there's a lot of things that I'm aware of that the general public is not. And for obvious reasons, I can't speak on it. But what I do have her full blessings to tell you guys is she is very hurt by the way that she sees that these things are being portrayed. And there's some misinformation as it pertains to some of the details of the case that's even out in the media. So some of you rushing to condemn her, why would she allow this, or why would she not, why would she, let him do this? Let me first set this straight. There's a great part of that information that's incorrect. That's incorrect. So you got to pay attention. Don't be so quick to condemn her, because there's some information that's coming out that's incorrect. So be careful. Because when it all comes out and then you see that she didn't allow what y'all talking about she allowed, then y'all gonna feel stupid and it's gonna be too late because you already caused pain and anguish to her family and to her daughter. So again, if you're not connected to the mother of the victim and you're a blogger, you really need to stop capping. And if you out here laughing about it, and to you, it's just about bringing down Polight, if the only thing you see in this as a blogger or as somebody viewing it is we bringing down Polight, y'all done lost the whole part of why this thing needs to be exposed. This thing needs to be exposed not because we're interested in canceling a black man. No, we're interested in removing predatory behavior from the conscious leaders who are either self-appointed or the people appoint. That's what this is about.
I saw that night in King of Diamonds, the strip club, I saw dudes walk through with sparklers and women getting fucked shortly thereafter. If you could get fucked because a guy bought some bottles, something is mathematically wrong. If in your wisdom you come from a culture that women are considered gods, but all it takes is a man pulling out, no disrespect to Brother Polight, 10,000 in his pocket, 30,000 in his right pocket, and because he pulled out a total of 40,000, you should give him something sacred that none of that motherfucking money could buy.
For those of you that's just coming in, that's me with the red hat. We are at a Beverly Hills penthouse, allegedly Brother Polight's penthouse. That's what I was told. We're going to Brother Polight's penthouse in Beverly Hills. We were supposed to go there to have a debate on the Bible. Brother Polight is against the Bible. He's very anti-Bible. Everybody knows that. And it's clear with the allegations that Brother Polight is anti-Bible. Let's just say that. It's absolutely clear, based on the allegations made against this man, that he's anti-Bible. Absolutely. So y'all should have seen this shit coming. Having said that, I'm about to share something with you guys that nobody's talking about right now. This particular debate and sit down that I had with Brother Polight, literally 11 months ago. Next month, September, is going to make a full year. 11 months ago, I sat down with Brother Polight to debate whether or not the Bible is true. He wanted to say that the Bible is fake, it's wrong, I don't believe none of it. And of course, I disagree as a person who upholds the teachings of the Bible. I disagree. But I said on the way there, because I know that Brother Polight believes that it's okay to rape in the Bible, I said no matter what questions they try to have me answer, I'm going to make sure that I put Polight on the line to stand on the fact that he believes the Bible thinks it's okay to rape. I said, I'm going to make sure out of everything they try to ask me, we're going to talk on that topic. And today, 11 months later, almost a full year, it's very telling. But right now, I'm about to give you exclusive because it gets deeper. Watch this.
What sense does that make? How many people we know fuck somebody and still don't know their last name? How many people we know with a body count that can't give you the whole person's, I can't say his age, I don't know his birthday, I don't know his first name, I don't know his mama's name. This is not African spirituality. So at that point, sister, he raped you. You raped. He raped you of your culture when you don't know his birthday before he fucked you. He raped you of your spirituality if he don't know your mama's name before you gave him your womb.
So y'all ready for the bombshell? So y'all ready for the bombshell? So if you guys been paying attention to the public information that's being shared, you should know that the mother of the victim is named. So much so that people have been reaching out to her. And I've personally spoke with her, and I could tell you she's been receiving threats. People are actually threatening her. People are reaching out to her family members and pressing them to get her to have an interview. Some of y'all sick as hell. But because her name is public knowledge, I want to tell you something. In this debate, where I forced Polight to talk about the topic of rape, where Polight wanted to say that he believes it's okay to rape based on the teachings of the Bible. It was a very eerie conversation that made all of the women in the room feel very uncomfortable. And the woman that you see Polight sitting with, at one point, she even gets up in conversation. This is the woman right here who Polight has in her arms. And just so you guys know, this is the mother of the victim who alleges that Polight raped and drugged her daughter. So shit just got real. So shit just got real. That's me in the red hat. That's a woman next to me crying as I'm talking about rape. That's Brother Polight. And that's the mother of the daughter who alleges that Polight raped and drugged her daughter. This makes the conversation extremely fucking deep. So now that you know that, let me play out for you the conversation. This shit is deep as fuck. Here we go.
He raped you of everything that makes you the divinity that you spoke of. If he don't know nothing about you, look at the tears coming from her because we're speaking truth right now. So in the word for God, you have a seated deity with a beard. But the word for woman, the determinative for woman, looks exactly like it, minus the beard. So the concept that you learn is, from the Kemetic perspective, the closest idea to God was a woman giving birth. The closest idea to God was the creation of life, which we know man is a co-conspirator, or he's a partner, but we know the bottom line is it's coming through the womb of a woman, which is why when we speak of the netchert, which is the female aspect of the netter, the term for God. When you speak of the netchert, known as Orset, what's her idea? What's her symbol? The throne. Below her is a bread loaf, which gives you a tea, and that's also feminine. But the idea is that we can't even speak of natural kingship unless we're putting women first, because women are the ones that dictate kingship. For instance, people say things like the Bible allows or fosters the idea that a woman can be raped. You've heard this before, Deuteronomy chapter 22. The Bible fosters, right, the Bible fosters, some people say that a Bible, and so I'm going to use what he's saying. I was starting to say some people, but he seemed to be familiar with it. Right, but because he's familiar with it, I'm going to say, we're going to work with what Brother Sonnet is saying. So according to Brother Sonnet, the King James Bible seems to be describing in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 22 that it's okay to rape a woman, and if you are able to dominate her physically, watch my arm as I'm talking, I'm also flexing my arm. If you're able to dominate her physically, then she's yours, regardless of whether or not she wants to be yours. That's so stupid and incorrect. But watch this, there's a wisdom and a science to the way it's articulated in the scriptures, and I'm gonna make it make sense. Watch this. So the Bible says, if a man finds a virgin woman in a field, takes hold of her and grasp her and lay with her, and they are discovered, he shall go to the father of the woman, pay 50 shekels to the father, and he cannot divorce her for the rest of the days of his life. She shall remain his wife eternally. So people,
let me just break this down for you guys real quick. So after I just dropped that bombshell, here's what y'all need to know. Y'all need to realize how serious this case now is. Y'all need to realize how serious this case now is. Because while discussing that rape is okay in the Bible, that is Brother Polight's stance, that rape is okay based on the teachings of the Bible. Some of y'all should know that Brother Polight, in some of his 90+ books, he advocates for some of the teachings in the Bible. Some of you should know that Brother Polight has written books on the Hebrew language, where he speaks very highly about the Hebrew language and gematria, the esoteric aspect of Hebrew language. Polight is not totally against the Bible. Polight is against certain things, but there are certain things that he does put respect on. And you got to ask yourself a question. A man that will sit in a 2-hour-long debate going so hard to say that rape is okay based on the teachings of the Bible, you just got to wonder, is this one of the things that you actually think is okay personally yourself? You just got to wonder, is this actually some of the things that you think is okay by yourself? And to add insult to injury, while Polight is saying that rape is okay based on the teachings of the Bible, he is sitting next to the woman, he is sitting with the woman who alleges that her daughter was raped and drugged by Brother Polight. So now y'all should understand why this conversation is so important to the overall dialogue. You should also understand why me and her are communicating behind the scenes.
And wait, the Bible just said, if he grab her, take hold of her, and have sex with her, she his wife. All he got to do is pay $50. So the Bible's saying, if I could overpower a woman, she mine. That's not what it's saying. Follow the language and understand the concept. African spirituality always is given in abstraction. There's always an enigma. Why? People who speak enigmatically tend to be people who are deep thinkers. People who actually have something to say. People who are surface.
So I need y'all to notice something. Watch this. I'm hearing that Brother Polight is in the chat room. Welcome, Brother Polight. Peace to you, brother. I need y'all to notice something. Brother Polight ain't been on nobody's live at all since this shit started. Nobody. He ain't been on the comment section in nobody's live. Why y'all think he here right now? Oh, y'all better realize why this right here is about to be very bad for him. Y'all better realize why this right here is about to be very fucking bad for him. If you've been following the case and the allegations made against him and the viewership on YouTube, Polight ain't showed up on nobody's live, but he's on my live. You gotta be stupid if you don't realize that he's scared shit right now. Because he knows I know what happened. And he wanna know what I'ma speak on. But let me let you know something, Brother Polight. Just like I beat your ass in that debate that day, I'm beating your ass right now, and I'm not stupid enough to give out the details of the case, which are not public knowledge. So I see and recognize why you in here. You're hoping I slip up and share something before it comes to court. Nah, brother, we smarter than that. But just know, brother, I know every fucking thing that happened that night. Oh, yeah. And guess what? That's why I've been coming at your ass for years, because I got your number and I know who the fuck you are.
When they speak, usually have nothing to say. Watch how it makes sense. The Bible says if a man finds a woman, grasp her and takes hold of her, and they are discovered, he can't divorce her. The key words are, they are discovered. If it's actually rape, hold on, listen carefully. Hold on, no problem, listen. If he actually grabbed her, if he actually raped her, I'm gonna wait till y'all done. Because what I gotta say is very eloquent, minus the interruption. So go ahead. So watch this. The very vernacular that's being employed is being employed and being positioned for a reason. The Bible considers that a woman who is born or raised in the home of her parents, if you're having sex with her and you're not married to her is as if.
Just so people know, I haven't spoken on anything yet that's public knowledge. Excuse me, I haven't spoken on anything yet that's not already public knowledge. But I got a lot of details. I got a whole lot of details on what happened. And there's only one other person, one other blogger that I'm going to give this exclusive to. I got a whole lot of details, boy. I got a whole lot of details. And we're not stupid. We're not going to talk about the things that are not public. But some of you who follow me, you know I'm a very intelligent guy. Damn near lawyer-like when I move. So trust me, I know what to say and I know how to say it. And let me make something clear. For everybody out here that's blogging, y'all are not connected to this case in any way whatsoever. Most of y'all never even met Polight. I've been knowing Polight since the year 2013. We've seen each other several times. I could call Brother Polight's number right now live. He more than likely ain't gonna pick up, but I could call him right now live. He has my number, I had his number. We are nemesis. We go at each other in a debate setting. There are things that I place respect on about Brother Polight as affords his potential. He is not an idiot. He's a very intelligent man. But there's a problem sometimes with people being too smart. There's a problem sometimes with being too smart. People who think they're too smart, they like to think that they above the fucking law. You want me to say it again? People who think they're too smart, they like to think that they're above the fucking law. You know, like the Hollywood elitists.
Raped her. She's not being raped, the woman in the story. And that's what most people miss. Because the Bible says, and if they are discovered. If she was raped, there's only one person hiding. That's the man. But the Bible says, and if they are discovered, that means they both are keeping something in secret, which means the Bible is saying the woman was implicit in the action. But the Bible is using the language of rape because what the Bible is saying, if you're laying with a woman while she's in the household of her parents and you haven't presented to her parents that you have interest in her, then it's if you have raped a woman. That's why the language is if a man grasps her and hold her. The Bible is not promoting the idea that a man could rape a woman. If that's the case, you got to wipe it with your ass because that's what it could only be useful for. But what you hold on, let me finish. The bottom line is, if you understand the vernacular in its proper context, what the Bible is clearly saying is that sex within a proper perspective is something that will be biblically co-signed. But sex outside of that context is something that will always be condemned. So if a woman is living in her parents' home, remember, all of this new age jargon, I'm independent, I'm on my own. People go out to college and they get their own house. So I don't got to live by your rules, mama, no more. That's not the ancient way. In African culture and African societies, the moment that you get married is the moment that you lose that protective covering, where you become your own covering, as it were. But until that moment occurs, you still are responsible for your parents. And your parents are still responsible for you. So that means in our culture, if you're having sex without the cosign of your parents, the man is considered as if he raped you. That's the thing that people are not paying attention to. So it's easy to open the Bible and say, oh, he laid hold of her, he grabbed her. That's what it's saying. But it just shows the ignorance of people looking into a text that they have no clue of. Because if you understood the cultural context, which anytime you're reading into a people's culture and a people's history, you have to consider what's called cultural context. So the cultural context of the statement is that sex, while you're under your parents' roof, is something that we do not play in African society. That's we all know. Yeah.
What does the word grab means in Hebrew?
So I'm glad he pointed it out because what he's doing is emphasizing my point. So the Bible says kazak. So the man will kazak the woman, which means to physically overpower her. Kazak is the Hebrew word for strength. But here's my point. And this is the key word most people don't pay attention to because common sense is not so common. The Bible says, key phrase, and they are discovered. If a man lays hold with a woman and grasps her and lies with her, and they are discovered, then he shall pay 50 shekels. Why does it say and they are discovered? The only person that's guilty if it's rape is the man. It says they are discovered because the Bible is intimating that the woman was implicit in the act. She wanted to have sex. This is not a situation of real rape, but the Bible considers it rape because you're having sex under your parents' household and you're not doing things the African way. The African way is that if you love me so much, you could tell my parents that you love me. If you love me so much, think about this. Most of us in this room right now is between ages 20s and our 30s. How many people we know fuck somebody and still don't know their last name? How many people we know with a body count that can't give you the whole person's, I can't say his age, I don't know his birthday, I don't know his first name, I don't know his mama's name. This is not African spirituality. So at that point, sister, he raped you. You raped. He raped you of your culture when you don't know his birthday before he fucked you. He raped you of your spirituality if he don't know your mama's name before you gave him your womb. He raped you of everything that makes you the divinity that you spoke of if he don't know nothing about you. Look at the tears coming from her because we're speaking truth right now.
In America, if I grabbed a woman, right, aggressively, and I had got discovered having sex with her, right, I would have to pay a debt to society in the form of incarceration, right? Is that a metaphor for 50 shekels in the past? So I'm just saying, is there another way to look at it? Or are there some other verses there that are stipulating the things that Brother Zion is saying? Or can we just say there's probably two ways to look at it? That's all I want to know. Because if I get discovered grabbing some fucking woman and having sex with her, if I aggressively grab her, because we can say the woman is implicit in the act, right? But I don't know where it says that at.
All right, so let me say this. One thing that was crucial to his rebuttal that I actually touched on is a phrase that I use: cultural context. Brother Polight said, "Well, in America, if I grab a woman, I can catch a charge. If I grab a woman, that can be construed as rape. So I don't know. How is this to be interpreted?" Remember, when I speak, I got a very, very long catalog, by the way. You could just type in the name Zion, L-E, and everything else comes up. So whenever I speak, it's always very, very meticulous. It's always straight to the point, and it's always very orchestrated in a way that you know exactly what I'm giving you is exactly what it is. What I said very keenly is cultural context. So American culture is different than biblical culture, or different than the culture of the people of the Bible, quote unquote, because American culture allows for the things that the Bible clearly condemns. So those are two different cultural civilizations, and obviously two different cultural contexts. So watch this. In the Torah, there's a story that's presented that's going to validate everything I'm saying right now. And even Brother Polight knows the story, so watch how it comes full circle. There's a woman by the name of Dinah. She's the sister of the 12 sons, the 12 tribes of Israel in the book of Genesis. The Bible says that she goes out to see the daughters of the land. And then a prince in the land of Canaan by the name of Shechem, he finds her and lays with her and grabs hold of her. And the two become married. And then it says the brothers went and slew every man of the city because he had humbled their sister. Why did they do that? The Bible first and foremost tells you that Dinah was with it. She liked Shechem, but the brothers considered it as if Shechem raped her because Shechem never came to the father, never came to the mother. So that means even in the Bible's teachings, which precede the law that was given, the teaching is demonstrated before that edict was given on Mount Sinai, because Genesis naturally comes before Exodus, the way that the Bible plays out. So we have a story in the Bible that validates that if you are living in your parents' home and you're having sex out of marriage, the parents in our culture regarded it as rape. And when I say rape, I don't mean rape in the sense that a man is forcing a woman, but you have to understand what rape is, even on a deeper conceptual level. Because when you're raping someone, you're taking something sacred from them, are you not? As a woman, when you are raped, one thing that is universal, women feel that there is something sacred that was robbed in that moment. There was something sacred that was stolen in that moment of time. What the Bible is showing you is, even if you are implicit, woman, even if you want to have this man within you, if you don't do it the right way, he is robbing you of something sacred. He is robbing you of something that is divine. He is robbing you of the very divinity that you know you possess. So this is a high cultural.
I'm not sure if y'all paying attention, but the women in the room were very, very captivated by the things that I was saying. Very, very captivated by the things that I was saying. And I just for the people who are slow out there, because I see some of the people in the comment section appear to be very, very slow. What I'm saying in very, very clear and concise language and words is that the Bible considers that if a man has sex with a woman in a way that's disrespectful to the family, such as not going to the father, not presenting, the fact that we're engaged or I like her to your mother, it's considered rape if you have sex. Most of you who have children already know if your daughter come home and say, hey, ma, I'm pregnant, and you never met the baby father, you know that's a slap in the face. Some of y'all are really fucking stupid to not understand the power and the wisdom in what I'm saying and what the Bible is relating. The Bible is rightfully teaching that it is extremely disrespectful for a child living under their parents' roof to be having sex and the parents never even met the guy. It's very disrespectful. Anybody who is an African, and we are all African, we should know that this is something that is against African culture. You can't find me any society in Africa that thinks that that's a good idea. And this is what the Bible is teaching. Polight, on the other hand, wants to convince these women in the room that it's okay to smash. I got $40,000. I'll be with Mayweather. It's okay. I don't, what's your name? It doesn't matter what your name is. I'm Brother Polight. That's what he's doing. But I'm telling you something that you should all have enough fucking common sense to know. How you showing up home, ma, I'm pregnant, and we don't even know who the fucking baby father is. The world we live in today has lost its morals so much that most of y'all think that's fucking okay. But guess what? Some of us still follow that good old teaching coming from the Bible. So we know that shit is dead wrong. And that's for the slow people.
And until we return to those types of morals and edicts, you're going to have people getting fucked after the club. How many women you know seeing a brother walk through the club, and I'm talking real, listen, you want to know my record? So shout out to Wale. We're talking about the year 2011. You know what I saw that night in King of Diamonds, the strip club? I saw dudes walk through with sparklers and women getting fucked shortly thereafter. If you could get fucked because a guy bought some bottles, something is mathematically wrong. Especially if in your wisdom, you know you come from a culture where a woman is deified. If in your wisdom you come from a culture that women are considered gods, when all it takes is a man pulling out, no disrespect to Brother Polight, 10,000 in his pocket, 30,000 in his right pocket, and because he pulled out a total of 40,000, you should give him something sacred that none of that motherfucking money could buy. What sense does that make? And I'm handing
I'm asking for clarity. So the answer to the question where we didn't know if we was in Big Mama's house or Big Papa's house or if they're still together, the answer to if this was a law that you had to talk to parents first, otherwise it's considered rape. We're in a conundrum now because the answer to that question deferred our attention to another.
I want everybody to pay attention to the woman that's with Polight. Keeping in mind, this is the mother of the alleged victim. Keeping in mind, this is the mother of the alleged victim. I need you to notice her body language. She is extremely uncomfortable with what Polight is saying. And I need you to know that, not as a matter of hearsay, I talked to her. So I know she was extremely uncomfortable with Polight trying to suggest that it's okay to rape based on the teachings of the Bible. And you could see it all in her body language. In fact, at one point, she gets so frustrated that he's saying this that she got to get up and excuse herself from the room because this shit is being recorded on camera and she's sitting next to him. And I always told people, when she got up, she didn't have to use the bathroom. She was ashamed to sit with him while he was trying to say rape was okay.
Scenario. And now for the new scenario that he brought up, to answer that question, I have the same question now. Does that new scenario have any supporting verses that say, hey, if you don't meet the parents, it's considered rape? Because now there's two scenarios. I have the same question. And I still want to know, for the first scenario, why are we using this other scenario as if it's corroborating testimony for the first one? I don't see the connection whatsoever. Are we using the same words in Hebrew that we're using in the first passage that are using the next one? Are we looking at humble, and then humble is the same word that we're using for strength? Or like, I just want to know when the question for the first scenario was, is it a matter of being in mommy and daddy's house and someone's having sex in the house? Is it a matter of, hey, if you didn't meet the mother and father, it's considered.
Let me just tell y'all something for the sickos out there. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of debates that happen in the so-called conscious community, right? And there are a lot of imagery that occurs on the walls of ancient Egypt, right? You can see what is muralized on the walls of Egypt. You can see images of the triumphs of the Egyptian kings. You can see the stories told of them conquering nation states. You can see the stories told how they lived a high moral life. And a lot of this story is told in a way that appears to be sexually explicit, meaning that you can find deities on the walls of ancient Egypt that are completely naked. So there are some people who are immature in mind. When they see that, they laugh and they say, oh, the Egyptians was homosexuals and the Egyptians was weirdos. And no, they were not. We're going to keep it all the way real. And I'm not even Team Kemet, but I'm going to be honest enough to tell you, no, they were not. And that is not what they stood for. Did some people behave like that in Egypt? Absolutely. You have bad behavior in every society, but that was not the status quo. That is not what everybody entertained. But here's what I want you to know. Brother Polight and many conscious community teachers, when the Israelites go on to say that there's homosexuality on the walls of Egypt, you know what they would say to us, Brother Polight in particular? What you're saying is actually reflecting how you think. What you perceive on the walls of Egypt, Brother Polight said, reflects how you think. So, Brother Polight, I got to rightfully give you back the same information. The fact that you see rape as being okay in the Bible, and based on the allegations we're aware of today, clearly this reflects the way you think.
For you to have sex, and the implication is on the man and the woman is implicit. I don't know where any of that information comes from other than the subjective aspect of Brother Zion's conceptual undertakings, right? And then when we get to the answering of that question, we don't exactly deal with that verse. We go, well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to this verse not down the block. We're actually going to catch a flight, right? Because we're going to catch a flight and we're going to now discuss this narrative. And then now I still have the same question for the first one. So now I have the same question for both. So I just want to know what's actually going on. Where does it say that you have to know the woman's family? And if you don't, and you have sex with her, it's considered rape. And that, yes. So go ahead, baby. Go ahead. Do what you got to do.
So obviously we're at the point in the conversation where the mother of the alleged victim is forced to get up. And just so y'all know, I spoke with her. She ain't have to use the bathroom at all. She felt very uncomfortable standing and sitting with a guy who she came with, who is here saying in so many ways that it's okay to rape based on the Bible's teachings. So I say again to all the Hoteppers out there, when y'all say to the Hebrew Israelites that they are sick and twisted when they look on the walls of Egypt and see people naked, that they think it's homosexuality and illicit behavior, you say that they're sick and twisted for thinking that? I say to each and every one of you Hoteppers, when you look in the Bible and you say you see rape, nah, bruh, you see what your own mind entertains. That's what you're seeing. You're seeing what your own mind entertains.
Takens, right? And then when we get to the answering of that question, we don't exactly deal with that verse. We go, well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to this verse not down the block. We're actually going to catch a flight, right? Because we're going to catch a flight and we're going to now discuss this narrative. And then now I still have the same question for the first one. So now I have the same question for both. So I just want to know what's actually going on. Where does it say that you have to know the woman's family, and if you don't and you have sex with her, it's considered rape? And that, yes, so go ahead, baby, go ahead, do what you gotta do.
This is actually good. You guys have never discussed this.
Yeah, we never, huh? We never chill.
And we're gonna stop the video there. I am Brother Zion Lex. There is much more which will be coming out very soon. Stay tuned. Before you leave this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Ain't no bloggers out here got their finger on the pulse of the real narrative, but I do. Make sure before you leave this channel, you hit that subscribe button, because I'm going to be dropping. Yeah. Peace.